We're delighted to have a window into the mind of Andrew Wielandt, joining us as Director, DP Wealth Advisor.
And that's just terrifying, a window into my mind.
Well, let's explore the current environment. Why do you think it's so important across advisor land to be helping clients with resilient income?
Look, this current environment, people are rightly concerned because it's literally changing every hour. We wake up of a morning and what's happened at Truth Social at 3 a.m. of a morning, people have it all happening in their pockets, in their phones, and it's buzzing away. So it's really causing people some angst. And so part of our job as advisors is to give them some comfort. We don't have all the answers, and it would be disingenuous for us to say otherwise. But we have tools in the toolbox which can allow our clients to receive predictable, reliable income across a whole range of products using diversification. So to me, that's a really important job of an advisor, to help people stop making bad decisions.
So within the toolkit, there's the communication piece, but let's look at indexing as an option. How do you think it can be deployed as a tool?
We've just heard before here at the Masterclass relating to the SPIVA results. So SPIVA basically tells us, subject to which asset class we're looking at, so we'll pick on Australia, 87% underperformance of active managers over 15 years. So if you think that you're going to beat the index consistently over that period of time, you're frankly kidding yourself. There are periods of time, though, where there's short-term dislocation where active managers may come into their own. And so certainly in our world, we use a core and satellite approach where we might use predominantly for the core a low-cost passive ETF. But then as part of the satellite is we might have some different ETFs that are trying to solve for a particular problem. So it might be at the moment, the volatilities are something that's risk managed. Or it might be a key thematic that might be of interest, that if, we're worried about inflation in materials or whatever the case may be. But as an overall perspective, a core and satellite approach where the core is passive and low cost, in my view, is the answer.
And finally, Andrew, thinking about the volatility, the potential for rates to change around us, what are you trying to do to give people confidence, retirees that have got sequencing risk concerned, the quality of life they can enjoy?
Yeah. And
what are some of your tips?
Don't run with scissors. Be nice to your mother. But no, I think in all seriousness, it's a tough one. Sequencing risk is a tough one. And you think about, my mum was a baby boomer. And we've got a whole range of baby boomers coming through at the moment. They have worked their tails off. And they're coming into a time where there's, I would argue, in some cases, unprecedented volatility, certainly even from a market news point of view. So I can get the fact that they're concerned. So the first thing I'd be doing is looking to diversification. It isn't your 8 to 12 blue chip Australian shares. That may have been the solution in the 1990s. That is not the solution today. The solution today is a multi-asset diversified portfolio, which may have some direct shares, but it is predominantly exchange-traded funds, or if ETFs, and I like ETFs, but ETFs aren't the sole answer, there might be some managed funds in there as part of that satellite strategy to help solve for that. And again, you'd have your Australian shares, your international shares, you'd have your property, your infrastructure. Infrastructure has been a great place to hide the last 6 to 12 months, and of course your fixed interest. And in our model portfolios, we're overweight cash at the moment. Because cash at the moment, it's paying a reasonably good rate of return compared to the last 10 years. And it also gives us some optionality. So if things really come awry, then we've got that ability to put that money to work. But it's really around diversification, lots of tools in the toolbox, trying to keep those costs low.
Andrew, you've offered so much to the Masterclass and speaking to the Inside Advisor. Thanks for your time and your insights.
Thank you very much.